Come on, gather around, get the 411, and let's talk about it.
All right. Hey guys, and welcome to CBN The Boys. We have a great show for you tonight. The crew is in the building, -1, but George will be back soon. So, everybody, how has your work week been going so far? What's up, Mimi?
I'm chilling. I'm chilling. I'm just chilling. Just a overall good day, I guess.
What you mean you guess? What's the gesture? We ain't playing gesture.
Look, I'm just saying it's been a good day. It's been a good day. I had a little health scare, and news came back that everything's good. So
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
your girl is good.
Dope.
And
That's
what's
what
up,
hurt.
Roger?
Hey, you know me. I was just telling you guys a second ago. Look, I don't ever really complain about being busy and all that. But like I was saying, I'm going to self-impose my own sabbatical for a few days. Let me get up out of here. So anyway, all's good though. All's going well. So I'm gravy. What about you?
I'm good.
That's
All
what's
right,
up. Looks
Triggity
like
Trey.
Trey's in the building. What's up, Trey?
Hey,
What
Trey.
up, baby boy? Trey's kicking it with us. So yeah. I know everybody else is gonna jump in on us. It's my man right there, 100 grand. So look it. We've been gone a couple of weeks. We had a lot of stuff that's gone on. So we're gonna definitely give y'all the good goods and all that good stuff. So, you know what? I ain't even gonna fool around. I ain't even gonna mess around. Hit it.
Come get the 411, and it's Mimi's drink special. Mimi, let them know what you're sipping on.
What it do, mama? What it do?
I'm sipping on Dasani water. No, let me stop, man. Look, I got my Dasani water, but look, I had a
I'm about
little
to say,
bit of coconut rum left, right? Because I'm still on celebration mode, right? So I put some coconut rum and some Kool-Aid. I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? It's okay. It's okay. You look at
hey,
the
yeah,
register,
cool.
you're like,
So
oh,
damn long.
she got something red with the red straw. I'm like, look, I got a little some Kool-Aid and some coconut rum, and that's what I'm dealing with, and my Dasani water. Okay, do not judge me tonight.
We are. You've
Okay,
already
what are
been
you guys drinking? Sis, what you drinking? What you drinking over there?
Water, also.
Yeah, let's
there.
hydrate.
Suck, and not in a good way. You guys, you trash. Anyway,
Roger,
I
what you
got
got?
y'all. I told y'all, hey, I'm on vacation officially. So I am going to. My daughter bought me a little mix special, and I got to make my own Singapore sling. So for those of you guys that don't know, it's kind of fruit and sugar and mix infused, and Singapore sling. I'm going to utilize it with a little gin today. We're going with the juniper berry, so I'm going to mix my Singapore sling. I'm going to start with Sprite, see how I like
Okay,
it. But I got the cranny on backup, so I'll probably do a little mix of both. But that's what we're rocking tonight. That's what we're rocking
okay. I'm
today.
loving it. And let me see.
Nice.
Trey said I've been kicking it like a boss all weekend. I got a bottle of Henny. Oh,
Ooh, Trey going extra gully.
yes. He gave me an extra headache with that. Just that alone, honey.
Yeah. I read
Yeah.
something interesting real quick about the history like of Hennessy and Ussin. And it's
Mm-hmm.
really pretty interesting because obviously, like cognacs and stuff come from France, and they're
Mm-hmm.
grown in a particular region. But I think the reason it's so popular amongst people of color is
Mm-hmm.
because during the war and things like that, when white people were drinking, bourbon and whiskey and stuff like that, it was more or less, kind of a "this is for us, not for you" type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a lot of black soldiers that fought in France, and of course
Mm.
they got used to drinking the wine and the cognac and things like that, and so and then of course utilizing that as fuel to advertise and cater to us. That's what they did. So on one hand it's kind of cool, but on the other hand it's like, damn, they know literally black and people of color make up 80% of their total revenue. I don't know how to feel about that. But anyway,
Yeah.
there you
Oh
go, Trey.
wow.
Little history, little Henny history for you, brother. Do your thing. But
Henny
too late.
history. So
On
guys,
all
look,
that
we
good.
got a lot of stuff to cover
Yeah, let's
tonight.
get it. We got a couple of weeks to go. Let's get it, girl.
Honey. So look, I'm about to jump off with this little dude over here in Atlanta. Okay, 24-year-old Dion Patterson. decided that he's going to walk into a clinic today at the hospital, a medical building, and he shot 5 women, killed one. Um, I don't know what he was going through. I understand that he was released from the army earlier this year, and God knows what happened. He was trying to get something, they didn't give it to him, and he spazzed out. And it's crazy because we see a lot of movies like that today. And I just recently saw one where this guy went into this bank. He was trying to get this VA, the VA, they were supposed to put this check in his thing. They didn't do it. He spazzed out. Look, it's just all kind of things happening nowadays. But folks are losing their damn bricks, And what do you guys take on that, man?
Dude, I'm like I'm over the whole shooting of people. Like, I'm bored with this shit. Stop. I'm bored with it, really. Because now everybody's like, you know what, infamy, I'll go shoot up some people, I'll ruin lives, and then, now question, did they take him into custody or did they kill him?
No, they still haven't. He's still on the run. As a matter of fact, they're showing it live right now. And they're I hear they're like on a serious manhunt looking for this guy. And for all I know, he can be in somebody's apartment chilling, looking at the news, laughing about it.
Facts. Okay, Trey said PTSD, very, very true. I mean, there are people, and I know mental health is it's been a huge issue forever in this country and other places. It just seems that only this country doesn't know how to get a grasp on it. You don't hear about this around other countries. And guess what? They have military as well. They go to war as well. You just don't hear about them wigging out, which it just causes me to believe that, are we that weak in this country now, mentally and emotionally and things like that, that it always has to just result to the most drastic? And I'm not making.
But you know what it is though? They give them everything that they need in other countries to like be at bay. That's really what it is. When you come back from the military in other countries, you got the family that's really, really like supportive and okay, let's take him in, let's see what he needs, let's keep him from going out in the streets and killing folks. You know what I'm saying? They have a lot of control because remember, in other countries, the laws are a lot different than they are here in the US.
I mean, sure, yeah. Well, we make money. The money's in the medicine, so they want to medicate everybody and have you keep coming in and getting your weekly. So yes, you're 100% correct. But obviously, like we got to do something because think about it. Look, like you just said, this guy could be in somebody's backyard right now because he's an Asian man, things like that. I don't have the answer personally, so some people say no guns. Some people say whatever, but. There has to be, there has to be some kind of a meet in the middle.
Roger, you are freezing up a little bit and sounding like a little robot, love. I don't know if it's your side, my side, or whose side, but you froze up all the way.
Yeah, I missed that whole thing. Yeah, we're all going like you do right now.
Eyes closed. You look like you're in prayer right now for the people that are viewing.
Yeah.
But
I seem to have a pretty good stick on what's going on. I'm hoping that I know we are still in the background, so I'm not sure if it's coming on either end, but we should be set up.
Okay.
Not too sure what's going on. I'm pretty good over here.
You look like you're back to us. It's a little blurry, but it's all good. You're back.
Yeah, I'm pretty good on this end. Not sure, but
okay.
If CB can see how she just froze up.
We could keep on moving. Trey said it's your side. Okay, yeah. So even Trey know what time it is. Okay, so
let's blame him, Trey. I'm with you.
Moving right along, guys. While we're here in the spirit of killing spree, this teenager over in Serbia kills 8 children and a guard at a school. This has been like their first mass shooting in 10 years. Mm-hmm. The police reported that they got a call regarding an incident. And okay, so I don't know how to pronounce these schools, but anyway, at an elementary school around 8:40 a.m., so that was early in the morning. Upon arrival, the 7th grader was arrested after he shot at students and a staff at the school using his father's gun. Like, see, that's the thing that's happening now. Kids are just getting the parents' guns, they're going to school and they're spazzing out.
Now, who do you think they're learning that from? Who do you think they're picking that up from? I hate to say it, but again, the internet the interweb is eternal. It's everywhere. Yes. Who do you think they're seeing do that shit? It's over here. That's the influence we have. infamy, whatever you want to call it. Where do you think that's coming from? And I guarantee you, when they do press conferences and things like that, it's going to come up. See, when they do conferences and have interviews and stuff in other countries, well, they fire off on us. They fire off on America something terrific. You won't see it here because, of course, you put the media spin that you want to see at home.
Right.
There's going to be a lot of the blame game and finger pointing. And guess what? We can't deny it, denounce it, or disregard it. So that's wacky.
Yeah.
You said it.
Cool.
I said it. What's the deal, family?
Let me see. Oh yeah, I said it. What's up, baby? Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Yeah, I
Peace
said
and
it.
blessings. Prayers for the victims. That's right. Stevie, he was about to say something, love?
No, I just said hi. I said it. That's all.
Oh, okay. So on some little, just like sprang back a little bit to like sports news and whatnot. So this little Olympic star, 32 years old, Tori Bowie, passes away. She's a three-time 2016 Olympic sprint medalist and 2017 World 100-meter champion. Death currently remains unclear. And that is happening for a lot of these kids playing sports. Is either they're not taking care of themselves, they're not hydrating, they're overdoing themselves. Like, what in the world is going on with these kids?
I think there's more to it. I do. I think there's more to it.
Right.
Because
George.
Look who's in the building. He just couldn't stay away. What up, man?
What's up? What's up?
He couldn't stay away. He couldn't stay away.
Hey, look, I love it. I love it. That's cracking me up. But
I look at the name on the screen. Talk about at work.
right. This dude. Hey,
I had to drop in. I had to drop in and say, "What it do, people?
Hey.
What it do? What it do?" I said, "Manager in the house, Trey in the house. What's up? What's up? What up?"
And you over there looking like Mr. Department of Public Works. Okay, we see you.
Hey, you know what? I'm waiting on New Edition. I'm waiting on Mr. Telephone Man to start playing behind him.
Hello.
That's what's up.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh
what's
my
dope.
gosh.
Where you at? Where you working from?
Doing a remodel in Walmart. Remodel in a Walmart.
You in Missouri?
Yeah, I'm doing all the data. It's Shawnee.
Oh, okay. I got you. Right on. Keep it going. Yeah. You say okay. So Trey. Trey said it looks like they're getting pushed too hard. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't agree with that. I ran collegiate track and things like that. There's more to it, man. There's just more to it. There's too many healthy athletes dropping dead. It would be different if it was like, one here and there, or how you would have like sometimes your bigger linemen that may drop from heat exhaustion, heat stroke at football practice. This isn't the case. You have extremely healthy, fit, elite athletes, and then all of a sudden just gone. Nope. I just think, I think there's more to it. I think they're having help. Let me put it to you like that. They're having government help. That's all I'm saying. There's an agenda that's pushed, and that's what happened. But, that's my take on it. So.
Okay. Well, moving right along. So, Michael
right,
Jackson. You leaving us?
Be good, boy.
See you, George.
I might stick my head back in and check on y'all later.
Do what you got to do.
We'll be here. All right,
brother.
This question is, what you sipping on?
He wishes.
Okay.
Hey, they got an alcoholic monster now, dog. It's 6%. I didn't tell you that though.
No, you didn't.
Well,
I don't even have that shit at work.
Hey, well, I bet they ain't got it at Walmart.
Not yet, but I just had one yesterday. Not too bad. Bad influence and shit. I'm terrible.
Okay,
all right,
guys,
y'all. I'll see y'all later.
Okay, see you later.
See ya.
Moving right along. A Michael Jackson impersonator in New York, Mr. Jordan Lilly, was choked to death on a New York City subway by a U.S. Marine vet on today.
Why?
So he was spazzing out. Let me see how it goes. It says Juan Alberto Vasquez, who was one of the witnesses, revealed that he said he had no food, he had no drink, that he was tired and doesn't care if he goes to jail. He started screaming all these things, took off his jacket, a black jacket that he had on, and threw it on the ground. Neely is accused of having then shown threatening behavior towards people on the train, which is when the 24-year-old, a former U.S. Marine whose identity has to be revealed, put Neely in a chokehold for 15 minutes. It should be
Dale,
noted that Neely
Dale,
never actually physically harmed anyone during his
Dale,
supposed rant.
Dale. Bye, bye, bye.
So that's a
See,
whole murder right there.
yeah, jail, bye. Because anybody who's supposedly trained can tell you, you can choke someone unconscious in less than 10 seconds. That's it. Stop. So
Yes.
just like police officers, just like anybody else, you have a responsibility when you
Yes.
have a particular discipline. I don't give a shit who you are. Don't
Hmm.
profess to be well trained in this and the third, and then say you don't know. Like I hope this guy's defense, and he's a kid, he's 24, but I hope he doesn't, say, well, I wasn't sure. You weren't in that much danger because again, you're trained. So you
Right.
should be able to assess and handle a situation. So if that's somebody that just wanted to kill. He wanted to say I've killed somebody before. So he did. I put his ass in jail and hopefully he'll get the same in kind. Now, I hope they choke the shit out of him because you should know better. You absolutely know better. And when you're
Yeah.
trained, again, you know 15 minutes. You know how much shit you can get done in 15 minutes?
Yes. I
Come
thought about
on.
that. I was like,
That
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 clock
that
was
fight
seriously
was
ticking.
over in less
Yeah.
than 15 seconds. Come on. I hate
Yes.
everything about that. I hate everything about that and that guy. So stripping, dishonorable discharge, fucking firing squad. I don't like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Okay, so Roger, what's wrong with your boy, with your boy over there? Patrick
Uh,
Mahomes' little brother,
uh,
Jackson Mahomes,
uh,
arrested for aggravated assault. Do
look,
you
let me tell you
believe
something.
that?
Yes, I do. Well,
Yeah.
okay. Two schools of thought. Two schools of thought.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I'm going to say. Jackson Mahomes is a dickhead. He's a douchebag. Nobody likes him. Nobody in KC likes him.
Okay.
Right after Patrick got there, I was already here, but my boy, we used to bounce together, and
Mm-hmm.
they've had run-ins with him. Everybody, every club, he's super entitled. He's a
Mm-hmm.
brat. I mean, he gets it from his mama. But do I believe? Do I believe? Yeah. Do I believe he was probably disorderly? Yes. Do I
Yeah.
believe and like I read the story, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
supposedly
watched
they've
the
got
video. He did it.
right. And so, like he tried to exercise his entitlement
Hmm.
and push up on the young lady and try to kiss her because that's kind of one of those don't you know who I am moments. So
Yeah.
it was
Right.
bound to happen. It was bound to happen because people like him uses his brother's celebrity to just try to walk over everybody. And I always, my buddy and I talk about it all the time. And he goes, "Man, I'm so glad you weren't here because when he came into the spot they worked at, they know me. I didn't. I as much as I love the game of football and was part of it, I
Yeah.
mostly like athletes or their family or entourage. I don't because they're
Right.
usually not the athlete. It's the entourage or the relatives or the whatever that give him a bad name. And he knows me. I would have beat the shit out of Jackson Mahomes. So
Yes.
anyway, it's bad all the way around. CB, you say you saw the video. You did it look like he kind of backed her
Yeah.
against the wall and tried to kiss her? Really?
It wasn't backed against the wall, but he did try to kiss her and she backed away and he moved closer. So you could tell that it was an unwelcomed encounter.
Yeah, the video that I
Right.
saw, he actually like held her by her neck and like, like kissed her or whatever. And she, she didn't really kind of like to me, it wasn't like a fight. Like, what the hell are you doing? It was just more like, whoa, like that type. So I'm just like, okay, how serious was
Well,
that? And some things can be
back in the
exaggerated.
20s, back in the 20s and 30s, that was considered romantic. God damn it, Scarlett, let me kiss you.
I
But
mean,
here's the
it
thing.
still is, but
Yeah. Hey, I get it. I understand. I understand. But people are going to make a big deal out of that. She just earned herself a payday. That's why he's
yes.
stupid. on the outside looking in, do you go, oh God, was she in fear of her life? No, but she's going to play it up and she's going to get paid. And well, you know how this country is. So more fool him.
Yeah.
Just really more fool him. But he's never going to make his brother look bad. But you're making the family and the name. I mean, like they are. He is so beloved. He is probably the most loved person in the city with the most hated family in the city. That's the truth. That's about the most,
And that includes his wife.
Well, his wife and his mom are both bitches. There's no other way to put it. They're entitled fucking twats. But I mean, he's the nicest guy. Nicest guy.
Okay, so moving right along. Jackson, get it together. Okay, so now this one here like really took me because when I saw this, I was like, what the hell is happening? A slumber party massacre. Teens found dead at a sex offender's home were having a sleepover with his stepdaughter. So two of the teens were found shot to death on a property of an Oklahoma sex offender's home where they had a sleepover with the man's stepdaughter, something that they had done many times from what the parents said. So on Monday, authorities in Oklahoma were searching for missing teens Ivy Webster, 14, and Brittany Brewer, 16, on a rural property near the tiny town of Henrietta when they discovered 7 bodies strewn on the ground, including those of the girls of Okmulgee County Sheriff's Office said. So there was already an entire family that was out there already on top of the 2 girls that were killed. The police also found bodies of Holly Guest, 35, her teenage children, Riley Elizabeth Allen, 17, Michael James Mayo, 15, and Tiffany Dorr, 13. And the Associated Press reports authorities believe that Guest's husband, Jesse McFadden, 39, shot and killed them all before taking his own life in a murder-suicide. All these bodies on one property.
That's like some Manson type shit.
Like, yes, like, we hear of the little things that are happening around us. Oh, this person went in there, shot this person did that, shot that. And then all of a sudden you hear of like 5 bodies over here and 2 extra bodies, like 7 bodies on property of a sex offender.
That just makes you wonder what. I don't, again, I'll never understand mental illness, thankfully, because I embrace what I have, but it blows my whole mind. Like, it makes me so mad because there's no closure. You do all of this and then you kill yourself. Closure, and there's no explanation.
Right.
Like, what do you do? That would be the hardest thing to come back from. It would be. It would be so difficult.
Yes, the definition of the whole thing, the whole mental illness, like, where is the remote control in that? Like, where's the control in your own mind of, okay,
there is
stop or just go? Like,
but the batteries are dead, and therefore you can't put that on pause. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's doing the most.
So it's just from one thing to another. It's also bad. The news is all bad, guys. Anyway, look, let me go over to Eva, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, who married a successful businessman, Michael Sterling. He adopted her daughter from a past relationship and raised her as his own, along with 2 kids. Eva has now filed for divorce and is demanding that he pay child support for all 3 kids. Now, I know that this is what we're going to be talking about tonight.
Yeah, we're going to get into it, so hold tight.
So I'm going to hold tight on that. And Eva, I'm going to let you know how I feel about you. When
Is that, which Eva is that? Now, there are a couple of famous Eva.
That's the Eva that was she was like an America's Top Model or something.
Okay, so Eva. Yeah, her name used to be Eva Pickford. Oh, she used to be so delicious. Did she do that really?
Yeah, we're going to talk about her.
Forcing him because of infidelity. So I mean, she's well within her rights to do that.
Yeah, like if he out here, sucking off and fucking off, like that's what happens. You just got to deal with what you got to deal with. But I don't know if he should be responsible for taking care of all of them. But if he took on the responsibility of, I want to be their dad and I want to do this and I want to do that.
If he adopted her, then yeah, she is his responsibility.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So prayers up for Jamie Foxx, or I should say continued prayers. On April 12th, he was hospitalized due to some sort of medical complication, which we still don't know what that complication is, whether somebody tried to kill him or not, poison him, what the hell done happened. But Jamie, get your ass back up because I need to see you in some movies.
Yeah, I think they said
that's interesting.
Yeah.
This,
Yeah.
that's all. Hey, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Hey, this
That's
boy,
it.
his name has been floating around a lot, and I mean, it's been
Yes.
doing it for years anyway. But literally, I mean, he has been linked to Pac, Biggie. He tried to snuff Al B. Sure, Heavy D. Uh, what's Harrell, Andre Harrell. Every one of these guys, they're all dead, by the way, has been linked to Puff. And like I
His
said,
baby's
hey,
mama.
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You know, Al B. Sure lives here. Well, Al B. Sure had a kid by Kim Porter before Puff took
Right.
her from him and had other kids. He somehow bullied Al B. Sure into signing over, speaking of adoption, his oldest son Quincy to Puffy and Kim, and they could collect on that. So, you know, like 2 years ago, Al B was in a coma for like a minute. And then the
Hmm.
same thing that Jamie's going through right now, exact same situation. Guess who who they've got in common? I mean, this dude. Here's the thing, Puffy. Like,
Yeah.
if I saw Puffy on the street, I'd be like, I beat his ass. But he's the kind of guy that you stay away from because he's connected, which makes him very dangerous.
Yes.
Especially when he's got a lot to lose, and a lot of people that try to either leave him in some fashion or expose
Hmm.
him, most of them don't live to tell about it. So, and Jamie's gotten a little wild with his commentary lately. He's gotten a little, extra, and
Hmm.
so I think that's exactly what happened. They start to go crazy. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean,
Hey JJ, we haven't seen you in a while, sweetheart.
mhm.
Yeah, that is pretty tough. And rest in peace to
Yeah,
Jerry Springer, because that was my guy. That was the
man.
all-time OG
Look,
of drama.
you know what's funny? We have everybody has family chats. My son texted us. He texted family the other day talking about, man, Jerry Springer died. I said, boy, you don't even know the half of it. I said, shit, how many people I know that either had to repeat a class or flunk the class for trying to plan them around Jerry Springer when I was in college? Jerry was an OG, man. And
Yes. Okay. See, so the thing about that is like, who do you guys think now that can fit those shoes, man, for a
nobody,
dramatic show
nobody, nobody.
like Jerry
It's
Springer
it,
show? Don't
it's
nobody.
different. It's
Yes.
different now. Like, okay, when Jerry was out, damn, Jerry has been out. I started watching the show in '93. I don't even know how
Yeah.
long it had been on before that.
Yeah. It has to been about 30 something years.
Yeah.
And so we were
Mm-hmm.
talking about that. One of my favorite phrases, one of their advertisements about the Jerry Springer Show was like, "Hey, we haven't won an Emmy in 8 years. We ain't about to start now." I thought that was so great. Like they embraced the fact that
Yes.
listen, we about to get extra with you. We don't give a shit about it. The ratings were through the roof. Much love. I respect the guy. R.I.P. to Jerry. Like I'm not big on talk shows or talk show hosts. I hate them, but Jerry was the original You're Not the Father, and let me see y'all start banging.
Mm.
Yes.
But
Yes.
now it's everywhere now, so I'm over it. But back in the day, that was hilarious, man. It was great.
Yeah, yeah, I love them.
Um,
That was my old man right there. Every time I would
Jerry,
have to take a
Jerry
pause
was
for
the
the
dude.
cause. It got a little too dramatic after a while, but every now and then I
Yeah,
would
it got
pause
slow.
just to see like what's going on, and then I had to like keep flipping the channel. But
I think
anyway,
I have a
go.
partner that was on there. Was it Jerry Springer? I have a homeboy I used to work with that was on there. He had one of the highest rated shows of all time. It was something about he and his wife were breaking. They were going to get divorced. They were going to
Hmm.
amicably divorce, but they flew him out there and told him, "Hey, be real dramatic and all that."
Hmm.
I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it. My boy Martell, Telly. But they got on there and he just, they just got to going ham talking about he's cheating, she's cheating. Hey, Independence, Missouri's finest. So
Yeah, yeah. Somebody that I actually dated was actually on his show like years, like decades ago.
wow,
It was really
wow.
weird to watch the clips. I was like, really?
Stop the madness.
But anyway, keep it moving and keep it moving. In. Okay, so
Yeah.
the Texas shooter who killed five neighbors over the noise complaint. Of course, he was taken into custody.
Oh, good. They got him.
They definitely got him. So he made the headlines over the weekend when he reportedly shot his neighbors after they complained about him making too much noise while their baby was sleeping. Before the horrific event, he had reportedly told them, I'll do what I want in front of my yard. The Cleveland resident allegedly used an AR-15 rifle while intoxicated with drugs or alcohol and entered his neighbor's home. Authorities
Wow.
said that 10 people were in the home at the time when he started shooting, and 5 were killed at close range. 3
Damn.
children were found in the home without any injuries, and the women used their bodies to shield them.
Mm.
um yeah, that whole thing pretty much hurts. I know that the wife, one of them was the wife of the guy of the house and his 8-year-old son, and just to like listen to him on the news and how emotional he was about that, like he was just totally messed up because of course they left 2 kids behind. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's got the 2 little kids now that are asking for their mommy, like, what's up with my mommy and my little brother? And how do you
Right.
explain that to like I don't know if it's like a 2-year-old and a
You
10-year-old
can't.
or something
You
like that.
can't.
I don't know. It's like it's just weird, you know.
I see this is why I'm talking about they need to bring back torture and public execution because some of these people need to be made examples of. Y'all better be glad I would never be able to make it to Congress or
Yeah,
anywhere high because I'd bring all that shit back. Because people, nobody fears anything. They don't fear
yeah,
retribution. They don't fear, any kind of incarceration. They don't fear anything. Like that's why
yes,
you hear me say it all the time. Fear is healthy. This is why. If somebody thinks about what may happen to them, you're only out. You better do yourself. But this
exactly. And the thing is,
out of
the guy
control.
had been deported like a couple of times already, like 3 or 4
Really?
times. He was deported back to Mexico, and he found his way right back to the U.S. again. And now
Wow.
he's in his house, okay, living illegally with weapons. Like, yo, how did he get away with all that? Who's
Live
really
here.
looking out
Live here
over
long
him?
enough. There's a loophole for everything, especially if you're not from here. They catch more breaks than people that were born here. I mean, it's
Right.
sad, but it's true.
And you see, once you've been deported a couple of times, you already know where to go,
Yeah,
because
but
you got the little
yeah,
route,
but
you know?
they should have this poster up with the red slash through it shit at every post office, everywhere.
Yeah, if you see this dude.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I mean, it
God,
was
do
just
not let
interesting
him
that
in
he
the
didn't kill
country.
himself before they found him, because, they do shit like that too. It's like they do craziness and then they'll go kill himself somewhere.
And
It's
then
like,
yeah,
no
yeah.
justice.
I'm thinking like my man must have been so faded, like he just didn't know. I don't know.
Yeah, like do it and then like don't remember. Okay, so this is my last, guys, for right now. The
It's all right.
godfather of AI quits Google and now warns of the growing dangers ahead. See, this is the thing. These folks will sit up somewhere, they will create some shit, and then they'll be like, you know what? I quit. And
He
let
ain't
me tell
backed
you
out.
guys what you guys need to run from, because this shit about to get crazy.
Yep, he said it too. He said, "I regret my life's work."
Yeah.
But you did it and you saw it through to completion. Now you regret it. I hope he gets choked to death by one of his own fucking robots. Like, no, I hate that. That's just like when people say racist shit or harmful shit and then they
Mhm.
apologize. The damage is done. Like, I
Right.
hope it's like iRobot. I hope one of them just takes his finger and just jabs him through his fucking brain because you don't regret it. You spent years
Yes.
perfecting it, completing it, getting rich off of it, and now you regret it. Ah,
Yes.
it's on you, man. Like I don't
Yeah.
believe anything about this guy. Oh, speaking of, speaking of those people that like to say that, um, I didn't want to give her too much pub, but I'm going to have to. So, are you? Well, first of all, that was it for you, Mimi. Give me one more.
Yeah.
Are
That's
you
it
good?
for now. That's it for now. That's it for now, babe.
Okay, so that threw me into Carolyn Bryant. So Carolyn Bryant was the white woman who accused Emmett Till falsely of whistling at her, blah blah blah, which is what created one of the largest, you know, uh, horrific acts in history. Anyway,
Yes.
she just died recently, and I'm really,
Mm-hmm.
really mad for 2 reasons. I'm mad she lived to be 88, and I'm also mad that nobody put a pillow over that bitch's face before she did. Because you know what? If that was Emmett Till's mother died brokenhearted, family members died brokenhearted, and she got to die peacefully under her own terms, that infuriates me. That
Yes.
infuriates me. I don't care how long ago it was. I can only imagine if someone that would be like someone accusing my kid of raping them and now he has to go to jail for 10 years or life or whatever, and then she recants and says I'm sorry on her no, you can't do that, not at a convalescing home, not on your deathbed. I promise you I will find you, and I'm just gonna whisper to you the whole time I'm sitting on that pillow. Oh no, I don't care if you're 88, 108, or 28. You're gonna suffer. You made my kid
Yes.
suffer. That's how Roger gets down. You can't do shit to mine if I'll do it back to you. And I hate the fact that this happened. And
Yes.
it was a long time ago, but it still hurts because it's
Of
still
course.
relevant. It's
Yes.
still very relevant. because shit like this is still happening. Do you realize in 2023, if a white woman accused me, not so much of whistling, but of, again, touching her, doing whatever the same shit Jackson did, that can affect my whole life. Which means you have to walk looking over your shoulder the whole time. So you think I'm not upset about that? And she did it her own way, and she died on her own terms. I'm sorry. I wish one of the orderlies would have hit that bitch in the face with a brick or something like that. I'm angry today, by the way, y'all, for no reason. I'm happy, but on that, somebody should have just dropped a brick on her ass. Anyway, so I said it. But yeah, anyway, she's dead. You know, good. There's that.
And CB, I'm about to ask a question because I just saw something earlier in on Instagram, and I just want to ask you about it if you've ever experienced anything like this. So a Lyft driver wanted to send her child to school on a Lyft. He looked like he was probably about 7 or 8 years old, and she wanted to send him to school on a Lyft on his own. That has anything crazy like that ever happened to you?
Yeah.
Now, did you take the child?
I did.
And the parent didn't have to be there with the child.
That's not technically, yes. It's not legal anymore. They changed the law because of how much shit was happening. And I'm not speaking for CB because I don't know how Arizona goes, but I know here in Vegas and like a couple other places, because of what's happened, they kind of changed that. So what's it like in Arizona? Do they have to be 18 or no anymore?
Here it's at the driver's discretion if they want to take the ride or not. There hasn't been any laws or anything created, pertaining to that, because we haven't had like any incidents here.
So
yeah,
the guy flipped out. He was like, "Oh no, I can't do that." She was like, "I'll bring you the chair. I'll do this. I'll do that." He was like, "No, ma'am, no." And finally, when she got the kid out of the car, she still had the nerve to call him a bitch. I was like, "Why would you curse him out?" You know what I'm saying? Just because he won't take your child. Like, why don't you just take the Uber ride to school, make sure the child is dropped off, and have him drop you back?
Yeah, usually that's what I have parents do. They'll drive, to the school, drop the kid off, and then, it's a return ride back to their house.
Right.
I've had women come out in the bonnet and bathrobe, drop the kid off, and then we go back and I take
Roger's favorite.
And I've had people just, put their kid in the back seat. But I haven't had any small children. Now, when I saw the video, that was a small kid.
Yes.
And as a mother, I wouldn't trust putting my child in a car with a stranger. You don't know what's in people's minds. You can't do this, especially these days.
Right.
So I thought
check this out. And we're all in that demographic. We remember that, yeah. Like I know me and CB are from the Midwest, and I remember years ago when I used to go to church. You could do that. You could catch a cab from church or school or whatever. Hell, I remember being a little kid taking a note to a store, getting cigarettes and other things with a note and no currency. That's how old I am. But all that to say, and good point, Gage, and what CB is saying, you can't do that anymore. And I'm not saying that kind of thing, the neighborhood, the village looked out. So like now the village, it's non-existent, separate. So that's got to be scary. It's got to be scary as a driver to be like, yo, you're being put in a compromising position. And I couldn't imagine, because my kids, when we first moved here, a couple of times they had to, Uber or Lyft to school. They were teenagers, but they still girls. They're little. The average height and weight of a black girl is, 5'3". So nothing. Right. It's a bunch of nothing. And I mean, it was like a few blocks away, but I don't know. It's just too scary. And like I said, I hate to sound like my grandmother.
Yeah, it's not like it used to be back in the days, because I remember like in '95, like my daughter, she was 5 years old, and I put her on a plane by herself with the whole little thing around her neck, and
they would watch them. They would watch them,
and like it was so much security. Like I felt really safe doing that, And they had to make sure the father was at the airport and he was at the gate and the exchange, and like I was paranoid, but I was like, oh, okay, this works. You know, instead of buying 2 plane tickets going, 1 coming back, I was like, you know what? Look, let's just try this and see if it works. Because
Yeah.
trust me, they would have brought her right back. Ain't nobody was trying to take that little one.
We'll see now.
That's her daughter. Okay. And you see how you
Yes.
are with your kids,
If
man.
she's if
That's
she
how
if
I am
she
about that one, honey.
yeah, I'm about to say if she gets the yakking
I'll
from her mama,
flatline the
yeah,
world. They'd be like, "Oh
ain't nobody
shit."
listen. D.L. Hughley said a long time ago, ain't nobody kidnapping black kids. They'll send it right back. I don't know that motherfucker. See, they'll send ours right on back. No, they're not keeping our kids.
They'll
I ain't
put
got
her.
cable.
They'll put her
I
to
don't
sit
eat
on
this
the
kind of
freaking bus
cereal.
stop. They'll put her at the
Yeah,
bus
yeah,
stop with a note. We sorry.
my kids be bitching about the cereal, what kind of TV you got. You know, that's our kids, man. You know, ain't nobody be kidnapping our kids. They chew through shit and get home and tell on you. Ain't nobody
Yeah,
taking our kids. Oh yeah,
definitely, definitely.
but yeah, that's okay.
So, does anybody else
I,
have any 411? We can move on.
what you saying, no, mom? You got some CB?
No, I was just gonna say also R.I.P. to Harry Belafonte and our condolences to the Belafonte family.
Oh, I
He's a
didn't even know
bad
about
boy.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Harry was a bad boy. Oh, I got a little few for you. I got a little few for you. So I know
Yeah.
we weren't here last week, guys, but I know some of you guys have heard a couple of things. So one, and this is kind of a PSA.
Mm-hmm.
A young man was shot and killed for getting in the wrong car. Now I want to say it was Atlanta, but let me check. Let me check my facts because it probably was. But anyway, long story
I
short, this
wouldn't
young
say
man.
no. Everything is happening in Atlanta.
Right,
What
right,
the
right.
hell?
I think he was 24. So the gist of it was he parked, went to get gas, went inside, came back out, was walking and texting. Now, in the same vein as all these old guys shooting people coming into the driveway, he was just walking and he went to the wrong car. He opened the door, or he started to open the door, and the driver just dumped on him. Just dumped on him instantly. He's on his phone. So here's my PSA. Young people, look up and see where you're going. I actually know a young lady who was killed. And listen, I'm guilty. Don't let me lie and tell you I'm not. I drive with my niece sometimes and I do different shit. But as far as doing this, I know a young lady who lost her life at 19 because, that last text shit is true. And I get mad at myself if I go, oh, what's the direction? That's why I try not to use maps and things like that because we're all guilty. But like
Yes.
that inattention, it's gotten a friend of mine robbed. It's gotten this young man killed because we're doing this, walking. And I say we because
Yes.
people are all guilty of it. But
Yes.
anyway, his pregnant girlfriend jumped out, ran over to the shooter. It was too late. They literally had the exact same vehicle at a gas station. But you can't tell me,
Oh.
that you didn't have time to assess the situation before you just unloaded. You wanted to kill. People want to kill now. That's why
Yes.
I'm like, we gotta figure out a way to go back to fucking public execution or torturing people because you cannot do that to somebody I love. Friend,
Yes.
foe, family, you can't do it. I just know me. I know me. If I'm
Yes.
hurt that bad, you're gonna feel it. So anyway, this young man lost his life. People, get off your damn phone long enough to get in your car, lock the door, start the engine. Again, I had a good friend who was robbed of $8,000, and they took his ID, came to his house, and tried to break in while he and his wife and new baby were there. He had to leave the country because he had a good amount of money. This happened like a month ago. I'm not even bullshit. So what I'm saying is because he was in his car doing this, he left the casino, and the guy watched him with 30 grand. And he just put the gun in his ribs. It happens that quickly. Don't say your head's on the swivel. If you ain't in the car, door locked. I'm just telling you, it happens. It happened. He showed me the video of guys coming to his house on the phone, beating and trying to beat the door in front, right? So anyway, that made me mad because he was walking while he was texting. Just whatever you got to
Yes.
say, just hold off on it. That's all I'm saying. So anyway,
Yes.
I do have before we go too far, CB, I gotta mess with you a little bit, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So here
Oops.
lately, these celebrity impersonators have been going just a little too far. You know what I mean? And a couple of them have died because of. So we were talking about this a few weeks ago about celebrities and people too, blah blah blah. Well, people really take this shit seriously. People love their
Yes.
celebrities. I'm not starstruck, don't care. But people go so far that they have surgery and do things like that, and it ends up costing them their lives. So I'm going to start with this first one right here. There's a Kim Kardashian.
The Kim Kardashian look-alike, yes.
Right. So having more, and again, you guys can look it up. I'm not going to give you the whole gist, but she's an OnlyFans model. You do the math.
She went for surgery and she went into cardiac arrest.
Yeah, it happens a lot. Anesthesia has a weird effect on people.
Yes.
Anesthesia does. Some people don't come out of it. They because again, a lot happens. So cardiac arrest is a big reason a lot of people don't wake up from surgery.
Right.
And again, she made her money. So it's like, look, I'm not mad at you for doing that because you're on a limited time, but this is what doing all of that altercation can do. It can really cost you. Let's look at Kanye's mom. They told her not to have surgery. So she said, okay, I'll go to Mexico. Went to Mexico. Same thing. Didn't wake up. I happen to know some individuals who lost their mom. Same thing. I think the surgery was necessary, but the older you get, the tougher it is. So, it's scary. So just, and so here's my next one. And it's not really a poke, but I just want to see B because, again, this is our people. So actor Saint Von Colucci has died after spending 6 figures to look like BTS star Jimin in an upcoming series. So, of course, I had to think about you, sweetheart. Now, the thing is, he got the role. There's a series coming out, so if you guys see him, he got the role. Well, he won't now, but anyway, but it's called method acting, and it's a very real thing. You become and embody whatever it is you're trying to portray or become. But he spent 6 figures trying to look like someone else, someone he was not, because of this person's popularity, things like that. So while we were talking a few weeks ago about, there are people to think about them and all that, I think we should stop where we are and go, you realize Jimin and all the rest of these people, they put their pants on one leg at a time. I guarantee when they get up in the morning, they have to go pee like I do, and they have to, eat and all that. So it's like people,
they're human.
Stop losing it. Right. So we treat them, well, I say people, I know we as people treat them like they're otherworldly, celestial, better than above. And I'm not saying they ask for it. Some do, some do not. But anyway, it just seems like a lot of that's been going on lately. So I felt like I kind of had to, put that out there because we've been kind of discussing that lately.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's that. Yeah, it's pretty bad, man. It's pretty bad, But anywho, so that's I don't know if anybody else has any little 4B11, but that's what we're rocking on right there.
Okay, so you guys know that I'm not the queen of putting things up because I don't know how to put things up on the screen, right? But this is what's happening in Detroit.
What's that?
What?
Well,
is that his
they drew
is that
on.
like his
That's the grill.
his intercooler. Hey, listen, people are creative as hell. You got to give people credit for being.
That's the grill. It's the funniest thing. This chick drove by. She was taking a video of it.
Motor City. What the hell, Motor City? That's as good as it gets. Come on, fam.
Only in Detroit.
Jesus Christ.
It was the funniest thing. I saw the video and I had to take a screenshot of it because I was like, the chick, she was passing by and she's like, oh my God, no, hold on a second. I got to turn around. I got to show you all this. And she just took a video of it and she's like, only in Detroit, this happens. Like, did he just do a whole grill? Drew a grill and put the GMC on it.
Wow.
Oh, y'all crazy. Okay. So, yeah, it's funny.
Another news.
Yeah, right. Well, we're gonna go into my little section, even though we kind of started. Mimi loves doing it. Me and Mimi love getting in each other's segments because me and my booze, and then she always kicks into sports. But I don't care. I share.
Hey, y'all.
Yo, let's get it. Sports and fitness with Roger Hawkins.
Never heard of that guy. So, anyway. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and start with what we've kind of been getting into. So, all right. So I got to start with my guys. The chefs. I know you guys don't know we had the draft in KC last week, and you know what? For all intents and purposes, I heard it went very, very well. No real issues, no arrests. I mean, stuff that kind of makes you go, "Thank you, thank you." You don't have to be
Mhm.
an ass all the time. So, um, thank you, Kansas City, for not being stupid, at least on TV and in public. So I appreciate that. Just a real quick excerpt. I know you ladies don't. You're not that big. CB might care a little bit more, but just a quick recap of what we picked up for the upcoming year. I'm going to be talking about it. Here we go. Bam. So these are through
Wow.
the rounds. These are who we picked up. The cool part is the number one draft pick, Felix Anodike Uzama, is from K State. So he's basically a local boy. He's from the area. He was raised. So number one draft pick by the Chiefs. So that's kind of a double cool thing. Everybody likes to try to handle a hometown, but if you pay attention, edge rusher, wide receiver, DT, cornerback, edge, DT, C, cornerback. So all that to say, we went heavy on defense this year, and I'm sure with supplemental draft and trades, we're going to get some more people. But we needed a receiver. We still needed like another one, but they're trying to kind of pick up where they need the most help. So we'll see what happens. I think they did okay. Big Red he does a good job of doing that. So there's that. Um, Something interesting. You guys know I talk about this a lot because it's kind of one of my life's passions. But check this out. Speaking of football and martial arts,
Mhm.
so Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua had a hell you said Tagovailoa, yeah, is back in the game after here's the thing, he's had several concussions. So long
Mm.
story short, he's training in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu now, which you guys know is near and dear to my heart. Um, I honestly think he should be out of football. He should be done. The
Mhm.
problem is uh, they don't give a shit. You're part of the machine.
So is he
So
tied to a contract? Like when you have a contract, you have to kind of like,
no, it doesn't matter in football, in any sport really. You can get
mhm,
out of anything. It's all legal. It's all
mhm.
legalese. You can get out of anything. From a health standpoint, he does not need to be playing. But you cannot tell an athlete they can't be what they really are. So
Yeah.
he's gonna he's gonna compete. He's gonna do what he. But it worries me because I think about Junior Seau, who ended up killing himself. I can't remember the other gentleman's name who did it. Aaron Hernandez, who went crazy and killed other people.
Mhm.
There's a lot of damage. There's a lot of damage being done. Exactly. Gage is saying the same thing. Health standards. He should be sidelined. No, he should be
Mhm.
out of the game. Yes. Tua is from Hawaii. He's Polynesian. And again, he's a source of pride coming from there.
Mhm.
But guess what? Ninth Island be damned. When your health is at stake. But you can't tell somebody not to help fulfill your family and whomever else's wildest dreams. Like
Right.
it's an unselfish gesture, but it's foolish. This kid has been knocked the hell out multiple times. He's going to be damaged for life, and it breaks my heart to think about how young he is and what's going to happen. He's 20, I don't know, not 30 yet. So imagine if
Right.
by the time he sees 40, he's
Yeah,
going to
he's gonna be
be
damaged goods.
look and act and feel like he's 70. So I really wish somebody had the balls and the heart to just say, you're done. Because he suffered a horrific
Yeah.
knock. But they don't care. You know what? We're paying you. Go throw the ball. Go do what you do. But so
Yes.
anyway, but I thought that was kind of cool because you see a lot of celebrities doing it. Jason Momoa, Ed O'Neill. I love Al Bundy. These guys. They're all training, and we have what are called wounded warriors from the military and stuff like that they come in and train with another teammate of mine. And a lot of these guys say without it, I can honestly say I know I have at least one teammate who may have killed himself had he
Mhm.
not been training and developed the camaraderie with a lot of us and stuff like that. That's how that stuff they come back. So that
Mhm. Mhm.
PTSD we talked about earlier, Trey, things like that, that shit is real, man. I don't take anything from these guys. But anyway, yeah, he's been so. Trey said Tua played hurt in college, so he's one of those guys who's accident prone, and he's trying to make the most out of his career, but at what cost, man? At what cost? I don't think it's worth it. I really don't. That's just me, but I don't. Lastly, I don't have a whole heck of a lot. We kind of talked about Jackson's ignorant ass, and I just wish they would send him back to Texas with relatives and let Patrick live his life, but they won't. And then, his wife Brittany just.
Hey,
So
you have
anyway,
PTSD? I'm sorry, honey. So how? I mean, you see, and I don't want to get too personal, but how does that work when you just had like having like episodes? Like, do you just like stay away from people? Like, if you're having an episode, what happens? Like that's just like a lot.
And now, and while you're thinking about that, I'm sure Trey is responding. You can also, you don't have to be in the military clearly to have that. Obviously, we talk mainly about that because of just the stress and what they see and go through. So we tend to put EMTs, first responders, firefighters, military personnel at the top of the list. But it's post-traumatic stress disorder. That means traumatic and stress can come from anywhere.
Anything.
But obviously, we talk about it.
Yeah.
And so Trey, and again, Trey says, this is his way of dealing with it. Every people have their way. This is a very subtle, calm, relaxing type of thing. Some people don't have that, I guess, self-control, and they do shit like kill neighbors and things like that. But when you have an individual like this who's kind of chosen to take control of it, this is how it works out. So big ups for you, man. And if you ever have a situation, call me. I'll cut somebody out for you, or go there and figure it out. Just bring the shovels, my guy. Bring the shovels. So,
oh my gosh.
Hey, come on, man. Me. Listen, it's all good. They can't prove it. Last little piece I have real quick is that's Jackson, that idiot. So there's that. But U.S. long jumper Tara Davis Woodall stripped of national title after positive cannabis test.
Yes.
I am pretty sick of this. Look, here's the funny thing about it. I live where it's legal. It's everywhere. I'm really not a smoker. Really not a partaker. Let that shit be. Alcohol, which is legal, and tobacco, which is legal, do far more damage. But this is just a good way. I've been saying it for a while because I'm kind of locked in on sports track in particular. There's a kind of the evening of the playing field. America has been at the top for too long. People are getting bored. They're getting upset. Blah 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 blah. It's not our time. It's Jamaica's time. It'll be somebody else's later. So that's why Sha'Carri Richardson and now this young lady Justin Gatlin. I can name a lot of people. They've kind of pushed them to the back because people are tired of this country in a lot of ways. Because so you're gonna tell me Usain Bolt didn't pop steroids or smoke ganja? Are you out of your mind? I think Jamaican babies, when they're born into the world in the hospital, they hand them a bib and a joint. But you're going to tell me he didn't test? Okay, cool. None of those girls test. Okay, cool. Anyway, I think it's stupid. I'm going to call them out on it because they waited for her to win and they took her title. I think that's bullshit. I think it's tarnishing, what could be a great legacy. So
yeah, I just think that they just wanted to go after another black athlete. I think that's
American in particular. In particular. So it's kind of tough right now. It's tough for us right now,
Yes.
So there's that. It is. All right, good folks. So I know we have our topic coming up, but I'm going to add some questions of the day when we get to it because I think it's kind of interesting. I think it's interesting. So
number one shit starter.
I mean, it's kind of what I do.
It's what you do. That's right. We ain't taking that away from you.
Yeah, it's just kind of what I do. Like I said, if I didn't, who would? Who would?
Exactly.
And just to cover us, because y'all know when we get back, I've already started. So hold on.
Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Mature, it's a matter of opinion. But anyway, so there's that. So check it. We're kind of at the top of the hour. So, well, before we do that, I know, CB, do you have anything good for us to look at right now? Any old school cartoons? Any good movies? Anything you looking at? Any series?
No.
All right. Rock on. I haven't had time to go to a show anyway, so I don't do it. See, this is why I love, but I can't stand our family. Watch this. That's Trey's answer to this question. See, I can count on Gage for some chicanery, and Trey to come right back.
Yes.
And they're right.
They got their own thing going on over there in chat line, okay?
Nope. Hey, we say mature audience
party.
I'm mature. I'm like, how old do we have to be, or how old do we have to act?
Ew.
There's that. Anyway, all right, lady. Let's have it. What's the topic for today? And give us the backstory. Give us the goods.
The topic of tonight is you are not the father. So, should you be made to get repaid for the child that is not yours? So, should fathers be repaid after they find out that the child isn't theirs?
Right. You done paid all this child support,
Okay.
and then you go to the court, and then you find out, okay, hold on, this child is not yours, but you done paid all these years of child support. Should you be paid back?
Right now.
Should she go to jail? Should she pay the price? Should she?
Well,
Now I'm curious. I'm curious because we just talked about Eva. So CB, what do you think? How do you feel about this? Because I know we're going to slide Eva's situation into this. So what's your thoughts on that? What do you think?
Well, because they're getting divorced because of infidelity, number one. Number two, he did adopt her daughter. So based off of that, once you adopt a child, that child is yours. So he should pay child support on her just like, his biological children.
Yeah, because he actually adopted.
What if the people that find out? So say, for instance, you have a couple, not married or whatever, and this individual finds out 5, 11, 18 years later the child isn't his. Then what?
If he didn't adopt the child, I mean, the thing is this: if the mother didn't know who the father was, and she never pursued to find out for sure if her husband was indeed the father. I mean, if you cheat on somebody, you've cheated. If you've been, unfaithful, you've been unfaithful. So, maybe in the back of her mind, maybe, and I think sometimes it can be an innocent mistake where if the child looks like the one man, but it turns out they belong to another man, and the woman just didn't know. Then, I mean, every situation is different.
So should she have to repay that?
You just said they're a couple and they're still together, so more than likely he wouldn't have been paying child support.
No, I mean, if they're not married, then you know how that goes. I mean, this country incentivizes divorce and child support and all that. But I'm just asking, do you personally feel like she's obligated to repay him if he's been put on paper and put on child support?
I think if she knowingly did it, yeah, for sure.
But if she unknowingly didn't do it and she had him on child support?
I mean, yeah, I think if it's something that he is requesting and he was well within his rights to do so, then I think, yeah, he should be compensated for what he has lost on a child that wasn't his.
Yeah, I'm agreeing, and I'm also agreeing with Gage. Gage said if you legally adopt a child, that's your responsibility.
Yeah.
This is my thing. If you're just a couple and you're not married, and you have gone separate ways, I think that the court needs to establish paternity before they even put that man on child support. Like it
Right.
shouldn't be where it's like, well, you know what, he's not paying child support, I want to put him on child support, and then all of a sudden years later you find out this child is not yours by way of maybe the child needs a transfusion, maybe
Right.
something happened with the child needs something, and all of a sudden you
Right.
find out, oops, this ain't my baby, and now you paid
Right.
all
And
this
how
child
how
support and all this
often does
stuff.
that happen? That's
It hap-
exactly it. You get all the
it,
time.
it happens a
You get
lot.
people that need a kidney or transfusion, and like Mimi said, all of a sudden you go, why is my son not compatible with me? And then
Right.
dun, 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 dun. So yeah, I don't. If we're just talking right is right, wrong is wrong, I don't see how that cannot be ruled in someone's favor. I mean, it's at the discretion of the judge, but I don't see how. Right is right, wrong is wrong. And
Hmm.
I'm sorry, but more often than not, she knows.
And
The thing is,
normally they do paternity tests,
no, they don't. They don't require. Well, for the
maybe
courts, yeah,
not
but
every state.
hospitals need to do it automatically. I don't give a shit if we've been married 20 years and done. I think hospitals it ought to be mandatory because listen, like Chris Rock said, a man's lie is I was at Kenny's house, I was at Tony's house. A woman's lie is it's your baby. Who tells the biggest lie? And that's the truth because how can you even think? We all have known everybody, I guarantee you, by show of hands, everybody out there, how many of y'all knew somebody who wasn't sure and either breathed a sigh of relief or fell on the floor in the heat when they found out that all of a sudden, it's the whole mama's baby, daddy's maybe shit. It's a phrase for a reason.
So
This ain't just a
the first shot that the baby should have is a paternity test to make sure that it's a daddy once that child is born.
100. Yeah, listen. I can look right at my kid. Oh, they look like me and all that shit now. I don't give a damn if the kid came out with a tattoo with my initials on it. And I don't care because the sad part about it is, unfortunately, people do all kind of stuff when they're scared and they're desperate. And you
Yeah.
think, oh, he or she would never do that. Yes, he or she would. Self-preservation is real. And this
Yes.
happens to, and it break. Doesn't it break? Well, it's got to break your heart when you see these videos. I know a lot of them are, kind of staged or whatever. Because what Roger ain't gonna do is get a camera and go, "How could you do that to me on video?" First of all, I'm not gonna look like no bitch to everybody like that. That's I'm sorry, that's pitiful. Second of all, I can't have video evidence of the damage I'm about to do. What you can't do.
Everybody's phone's getting confiscated, and ain't gonna be no house cameras. All cameras are spray painted
Yeah.
black.
I don't know how she ended up in a full body cast. I just know. Hey, this right here, Gage, this right here, family. Because back in the day, it was way tougher, and that legacy and the family pride and all that shit went to the grave. You know how many grandmas and nanas and daddies and all that went to the grave with this kind of. And listen, trust me, I know we do our thing too. A lot of people met their other family at daddy's funeral, so I know we can't be absolved of it either. But I think it's just so much harsher when I know people whose family flat out knows who the father is and won't tell, either out of fear or whatever. They just flat out won't say. Yeah, we know who, and we're not going to tell you. That's got to be even more heartbreaking when you cannot be given, you won't be given information to who you are. It's sad.
That's what makes people turn up. Like I'm the turn up in my family. When I'm going home, I'm like, oh shit, where's she staying?
But I think mandatory testing. I just think mandatory testing it will fix all of that. Now, because how many people go, I ain't did. Nah, listen, I'll be 100,000% honest with you. I don't know anybody on the planet that I believe is incapable of lying to preserve themselves. There are a lot of people that go, I don't lie. Bullshit. Lies come in lots of forms. And if you're scared enough, if you fear the results, if you're not sure yourself, and under any circumstance, unless you're fully prepared to take a complete L, you're going to probably do what you have to do to protect yourself. Now, if you're like, listen, I'll live with whatever I live with, that's fine. And I mean, there are people out there that exist like that, but they're few and far between. It's a lot easier to be like, listen, I'm real comfortable only having to pay half the bills or none of the bills or whatever. I'll tell you anything you want to hear when it finds out. We got here. What if a man and woman don't want to know in the beginning and then they break up after that he finds out it's not his kid? Should he repay? No, he's a pussy. You don't want to know. That means you already suspected. That means you already suspected it wasn't yours, but you just tell me I'm going to love the kid. If I love the kid, I love the kid. If I don't want the kid, I don't want the kid. But don't sit there and go, I don't want to know. I can't handle it. You're a punk. You're a straight pussy. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not masculine. Don't be like that. Find out and then move on. I respect that more.
Yes.
Find out who won. But don't sit there and go, I didn't know. Ignorance ain't bliss. You know what I'm saying? And not knowing does not absolve you. So there's that. I'm just telling you.
Some guys just don't want to start no shit with a female. So they're like, you know what? I'm gonna just not say shit.
Why?
And,
Why? Why not? Why not? Why not?
Hey, look, it's just the world that we're living in today, man. Females are attacking guys.
I mean, you're right. Listen,
shit
it's a known fact. It's a known fact. 51% of the planet is female. So trust me, you're gonna win.
But the thing is, it's the kid that ends up with the short end of the stick.
I know.
Because they could get attached to that father figure that's in their life that they think is their dad, and then something happens, and then the truth comes out, because of a medical emergency, and the guy walks away. And there have been men who have walked away from their sick children when they find out that is not theirs. They feel like
what that's tough. And again, I'm sitting here. I don't know because clearly at this point I couldn't walk away from mine. But two things I'd want to know. First of all, where that raggedy bastard that you had him by now, if he's no longer living or whatever, cool. But here's the thing. My cutoff game is cold. You can't let your kids go because if you love them, you love them. But you can damn sure let the person that had them go. That's a whole different scenario. And again, minor art.
JJ had a situation. Okay, I gave my daughter's dad the option to get a paternity test as I was dating another guy at the same time. He chose not to and told me that he knew that she was his.
You know what? Good for him. I mean, good for her. More fool him. I mean, right. if it worked out, cool. But usually, I think as men, I'm just going to speak for men. When we tend to get a woman who seems so confident, trust me, we get talked out of it a lot. Go ahead, I'm 100% sure. And most of the time, we're like, damn, maybe she is so true. And I look, I know you guys can be hella convincing, but if like on that situation, she did the right thing. She gave the guy the option. Roger would have taken the option. Just because, here's the thing, I don't mind dropping that 600, which it was back in the day, just to know, just to sleep easy. It's not me trying to say I don't want to deal with it. It's me saying, you know what, I just need to know. I need to know. And then when I do know, I never rest wrong. It come back and go, look, you know what, you were right. Good job. Because like you said, you're dating somebody different at the other time. That's a whole different ball game right there, though. You're dating somebody different. I get you pregnant. Then we have an arrangement. We don't have a relationship. But at least we know where we are. I respect that. I respect that totally. It's the ones that go, why are you tripping? You know it's your baby. No, you got something. So, I've been on the receiving end of that one too.
Yeah. See, and Gage said he understands when the parents are young, but when they get over 30, it's like, come on.
Stupid is stupid, no matter what age, Gage. That's the truth. I've met some pretty reasonably wise and intelligent 20-something, very few, but I've also met some dumbass 40+. I mean, age doesn't equate to wisdom, experience does. So I get what you're getting at, family, but damn, it's amazing who makes 4 decades on this planet and doesn't know whether to scratch their watch or wind their ass. So there's that.
What happened was.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that would just eliminate a lot of things. But America incentivizes divorce, welfare, and child support. It does it on purpose, and we fall for it because who's not going to look at free money? Yeah, who's not going to? Very few people say, you know what, my integrity is going to make me not. It's not going to allow me to fall into the trap. Most people are like, shit, free money, and I get to make your life miserable. Because if you notice, that's the first thing that's said. If divorce comes into play, or if you're mad about a breakup or whatever, you know what? Hit him in the pockets. And here's the thing: most of the time we're going to lose. Now
And it's it's a
I
bad
got a
thing
baby
because
child, and I have to support your lifestyle and your new dude's lifestyle.
yes.
Now, I ain't saying OJ's the blueprint, but I understand. What you fucking ain't doing is driving the car I bought, spending the money I made, and you taking somebody's glasses back in that motherfucker Ferrari. Listen, y'all got to go. You got to go.
Yeah, no, it's really bad, and the system is just really not for men at all. Like they will strip you, they will take your driver's license, you won't be able to get to work. If you
Oh
get
my
caught, they'll
God.
take your car. They
And
suspend you. They do so much
and
to
so here's the
men.
thing: I
It's
go to
so
jail,
unfair.
I can't work, so now I can't make the money to pay what I owe. I'm stuck in the system. It's modern day
Yes.
slavery, which technically, if you guys pay attention to the 13th Amendment, which has come up a lot, it is modern day slavery. I mean, when
Yes.
you got 17, but yeah, 100%. I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm definitely with you on that, Gage. My thing is at some point in life, in between all of that right there, at the 17, at the 20, at the 25, around 30, you want to have a conversation. Like, look, baby, so something happened, you know, and we got to fix it.
So it's ignorant now. I can't make.
Right.
But Gage, you have to understand that's the system they put. Now this is going down a deeper rabbit hole, but that's the new form of slavery and indentured servitude. We make it so that you lose all of your privileges by way of not paying, but then we take away your ability to work and to pay.
Yes.
So here's my thing. I'll ask you, ladies, because every one of us here has kids, but I happen to be IP standing up. So my question to you is, if you had the option, and I know sometimes we can be mad or angry, if they're not going to pay, then that's one thing. But obviously, if they're behind and they're willing to try to work with it, isn't it a little more, isn't it a little more sensible to say, hey, don't incarcerate this idiot if they're willing to kind of pay their part. But we're not getting into supporting your lifestyle. We're just getting into, help out with these young ones.
See, the thing about it is that nowadays you don't have a choice. The system doesn't even give a rat's ass what you say. They're abiding by their own rules, especially here in Georgia. A woman can't be like, you know what, I'm going to work things out with him. I want to go ahead and take him off of paper. We'll work it out over here. That's not going to happen. They will not drop that charge. They will keep it just the way it is until he pays the system. They're
Yeah,
crazy like that.
once you're in it, you're in it. Once you're in it, you're in it. Now I know what's
Yes.
interesting is like we're from the Midwest, and it's funny because Missouri and Kansas are right next to each other like that. And so you may have a situation where you live in Missouri, got a baby mama in Kansas, or you live in Kansas, got a baby mama in Missouri, and they kind of have to talk to each other, but they don't have to agree. So one may say, you know what, it's cool, let it go, and the other may be like, no, it's not cool.
Well, let me tell you two states that ain't playing that shit. Florida and Georgia. And I know that because my brother's son, mama is over there in Florida, and he's 25 years old, and the system is still going after my brother like they don't care. They'll take it, they'll snatch
They want
everything
that
from
back
you.
pay, huh?
It's called an arrearage. That's right.
Yeah,
And until
yeah,
you pay
arrears,
off
yeah.
all that, and
Yeah.
that thing goes accumulating. Them little taxes and all that little back fees and all that stuff, man. Look, you might think you owe 5,000, and you call them and they'd be like, nah, it's like 27,000. You just want to write off the system, like, you know what? I ain't working
Yo,
for
send that
nobody,
shit to collections and let me strike a deal.
and that won't even happen. That won't happen. That child support is not coming off of your credit, no matter what you do with it.
That's crazy. No, yeah, that's so crazy
You
because
might be
man,
look, you might be able to get that line off of your credit, but it's not going to come off the system. They'll still and don't even let them think that you're trying because they'll come after you even worse.
oh
So
yeah,
yeah, it's bad.
they're trying to set you up so that now here's what's crazy. So this is why, and this kind of gets off topic but stays. This is why, like you talk about marriage now, and I know we have our, CB has her thought process on that, but when people talk about marriage and things like that and how it's almost antiquated, and in a lot of ways I can agree with that. And I say it frequently. I say it often.
Mhm.
For my daughters, yeah. I tell my girls to get married because it's a win for them. But they
Mhm.
I don't want them to be the I don't need a partner or a man type of thing because it's just not true. Now their capabilities is something different. My
Right.
mother used to call if you went out, if she talked to any of my sisters or daughters, it's called kiss my ass money. You don't have to worry about paying, but you always keep some kiss my ass money in case you have to tell them to do just that.
Right.
But I don't want them to be these people out here that go, I don't need a man. I don't want that. I want you to have a partnership. For my son,
Mhm.
I would absolutely tell him never get married. It's a bad contract. Now, so this is going to spin into my question of the day. My
Mhm.
case was in Georgia, and I was able to successfully take my son's father child support.
JJ, you
Something
need
I
to share that. JJ, you need to share that information with me because, honey, that shit is not working for my brother. Okay.
listen. Here's why I'm of two minds for this. If somebody's coming for me or mine, I love you. But if it's me or mine that's going for somebody, now you got to go get that. But that's the hypocrisy of me because my girls have one thing, my son has something different. But see, me and my son would talk differently about this. Like, no, my guy. So my question to you, ladies, and I know this is kind of difficult because we're all in a different age demographic and all that. And I'll ask anybody out there: if somebody said, "I don't want to get married," but you're going to be my beneficiary, and I'd like you to change your last name to my last name, and we will have everything, whatever we have, we'll have together, etc. Would you be okay with that versus a legal and binding contract with you, your partner, and the state? Because most of us
Well,
don't know marriage.
if I'm gonna be changing my last name to his last name, then there's going to be some kind of legal something going on
Why? Why? Why?
because it's not like we're not. If you get married, right, you're still changing your last name. Like me, I won't change my last name because that's just not going to happen. For credit purposes, of course, in everything I do. But it's still, regardless of whether you are or aren't, like what's the big deal? Like, I don't care to at this age any goddamn
No,
thing.
no. So legally, listen. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It's too late for me. But if I knew then what I know now, that's exactly what I would have done. My middle sister and her soon to be husband are getting married in Atlanta in June.
Hmm.
See you there. I'll see you, Mimi.
Okay.
Um, but they're both, again, they're both doing nice, doing well, doing their thing. They
Hmm.
deliberately agreed to sign prenups for each other because he's got an angry baby's mama. His kids are older, but still goofy bitch, and she's want to protect herself. But they make a great team, fantastic
Yeah.
team. But here's the thing: they both realize, you know what, we are in this for us and not what can be achieved. And they both are like, you sign one, I sign one. I love that. You know why I love that? Because
Yeah.
now instead of talking that shit about I don't need you for anything, okay, prove it. Don't ask me for a thing if we're not together. Now clearly they're older. They've spent their lives doing whatever, and now, I mean, not older, but they're in their
Yeah.
40s, early 40s. I love that because it shows that I want to be here, not I'm
Hmm.
incentivized to leave, and I love that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
obviously, when I was in my 20s, had I known the law, nope. But that's what I would have done. I would have said, hey, listen, you can be my beneficiary. I'll take care of you. We'll partner up. We'll
Hmm.
do this. We'll do that. Change your name legally so that people don't mess with you. Da 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 da. Just like I can change my name to a symbol like Prince, I can change
Hmm.
my name to your last name if I want to, but I don't get punished. Look, if you don't like your car after 4 years, what do? Trade it in and get a new one, right?
Right.
Does it cost you anything? No. You get it. You use it as a down payment, and you're done. You
Right.
can't do that with this contract. It's not fair, and it's not fair to me.
Hmm.
So the whole name thing is because I want people to know we belong to each other, and I want people to know we're serious. But from
Right.
a safe legal standpoint, shit, I'll tell any male in my family, from my child to my cousin, hey, bro, don't do it, don't do it. It's not a good deal for us. That's a bad deal. That's like me signing up for a car right now, paying 50% interest on it, paying $12,000 a month on a car note, and the
Hmm.
car ain't worth. But it's just not a good deal in this country. In this
Right.
country. So this
Yeah.
whole thing with who should pay, but this is why. And I think some judges are getting a little sick of it.
Hmm.
But I think
Hmm.
about ladies who had to do it by them. Listen, if you have to do it by yourself, bless you. Sometimes you have people that are like, you know what? I don't need you. I'll do it by myself. I don't agree with that from ladies, but I also don't. I also am of the mind that if someone doesn't want to be involved, be involved. Why? Why force someone to do what they don't want to do? I understand what it took to get there, but this gets into everything else. It's like, but again, you have all the power. So that's a badass contract. That's a bad contract.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think it's back, but I think things are changing a little bit. People are becoming more savvy, and I think unfortunately, a lot of men are going, "No, I'm not. I'm not." So this kind of and we talked about a little bit. Remember the soccer player who did that. Now this woman who put everything in his mom's name, and same thing. She's trying to hit him for bread and all that, and she's really coming for him. But remember, you were supposedly an actress, successful doing all
So
that.
from what I understand, she had her own money. So why is she trying to come at him like that though? Like
the bitch keeps a shovel in her shoe. She's a gold digger. She gives me money. That's why. It's just. I mean,
but the way he has his assets set up, she's getting nothing.
Oh, he won life for the pay. I mean, he's like the hero of the year. He should be man of the year. He should be, because he did it right. Hey, listen, my mom is the trustee. She's over all of, I don't know if he did a corporation in an LLC or if he just put everything in her name, but
he put everything in her name.
Yeah, so I don't know if he went LLC and corporation, but he did it right. He literally owns nothing. Fantastic, good for her. Like I said,
so if mommy passes away and he's the beneficiary, then he gets everything back, and then she can come back and sue him.
Well, the thing is that would just be inheritance.
The divorce is done. She can't get anything.
Yeah, once she filed, he kept it pushing. I was like, that is my guy. He is my new best friend. I would buy that man a drink because he did it right. He proved it. He proved everything. So I love how he did it. Smart, young man too, 24. Smart man. He won life. Good for him. And I hope her career and what she uses in her career dries up. Fuck her. Oh, man.
God, tell us how you really feel.
I'm really not even that angry right now. I'm in a good mood, but just ugh.
No, they do too much. These women are just doing too much to men. It's just really bad. Period.
Well, because it seems like he said that it was like he was blindsided. He didn't even know she was planning to file divorce.
Oh, I believe that part, but you don't think he knew when he married her she was a gold digger, considering she had an acting career and she was part of that particular lifestyle? He wouldn't have done what he did if he didn't have suspicions.
Yes. Yeah. That makes sense what you're saying right there. Yeah.
He would not have done what
and
he
watch,
did.
And watch. He also did it in secret. So it's not even like he told her, like, look, this is what I'm doing. With my kid.
Exactly.
So when she decided to come with the freaking AK-47, they had no damn bullets in it. Bitch. That's what you get.
Oh, she's all messed up. She's all messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so JJ said, her case was in Georgia and I was able to say thing. Okay, two things. One, I've heard nothing fantastic about Georgia when it comes to that. Ooh, it's Georgia. Enough said.
They're brutal. They're brutal. They're brutal.
Yeah, they are. They don't give a shit. A lot of back in the day, a lot of men used to take off and run to California to avoid child support because California is just a different world. My father was one of them.
Yeah, I know someone who was making six figures. He met this little chick. She was a little secretary in this little, office, and he decided that he wants to uproot her from her little job, and she comes and work for him, and she's making all this money, and everybody's happy. So she has a baby for him. So she decides she doesn't want to be with him anymore. He has to pay her not only $6,000 a month in child support.
Oh shit! Look, I can't even have kids no
when
more.
I heard that, I cringed. I was like, that was, of course, he makes all this income. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, dude, like, what are you thinking? And not only that, he has to also pay for the lifestyle that he provided for her, because he took her from being a simple secretary at a little spot and gave her this elaborate and then when she left him, he has to upkeep that.
So this is why.
And see, you, Roger, you go to jail.
2 times quick. Here's the thing: I'm not even gonna be the one to do it. I got some people on my team who ain't quite saved.
Oh
Who
Lord.
I'm just
You
here to
know
let
what?
y'all know. And look. We understand each other. That's all I'm saying. We understand each other. This ain't what you want to do. Like I said, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. You got yours, I got mine. That's all I'm gonna tell you. It ain't worth it. But this is the bad part about it because, as a rule, women fuck up. They don't fuck down. Men, we have to go the other way around. That's why you get these wealthy men marrying their secretaries and nannies and all that bullshit. It's just it just is what it is. It's just the nature of the beast. But yeah, no, we can't do that. But you can protect yourself in certain ways, but you gotta be really, really slick about it.
Yes.
Cause Trey, hey, that's the kind of man I respect. Hey, he ain't gonna be listen, Trey said I ain't gonna call you and talk about it. We'll be next to each other talking about damn man, we should have zigged and we zagged. Yo, I ride with you, Trey. I ride with you,
Oh,
brother.
and we be out here raising the damn money to get y'all asses out so we could punch y'all in the
Look,
goddamn
yo,
stomach.
put some money in my books, and we're gonna be doing Wednesdays like this. I'm gonna be like Mac Dre from the cell, man. Look, hey
Video
CEO,
visits
I
and
gotta
shit.
go. It's 8 o'clock. But nah, it's just. I mean, I don't know. It's just. It's rigged. The system is rigged, but I also think people need to be a little bit smart about it. You
Hmm.
just willing to. Yeah, we're stupid. I get it. We do it, but man, you can pay, and you're gonna pay. Eventually. So I think this is
Yes.
why the narrative is changing when it comes to that whole cohabitating, marriage, family, da 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 da. I really think so. So, oh, you know what? I'm all over the place on y'all, but y'all will be all right. I forgot to tell you guys, Vegas is getting a baseball team. I told y'all 3 years ago the Oakland
What?
A's were coming. I don't like the A's because they were the Royals' rival, but the A's are coming to Vegas. I told you guys. I told you back in 2017. I said the A's are going to be here. Here we are. They're coming.
Wow.
Vegas is going to get every major sports team. I'm not sure who we were going for y'all team, CB. We were going for the Diamondbacks, but they didn't want to do it. They fought to stay in Arizona, so we got the A's. I don't care because they're not the Royals. Um, we'll see what happens with our NBA. WNBA is here, but we'll see what happens with the NBA. So there's that. Gage, your pops was in California too. Listen, you know what? It is what it is. Yeah,
Mm-mm-mm.
yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, I've got to throw that out there. Oh, damn, I'm still all over the place. Y'all are welcome. So before we get to, because I want to ask you about what we talked about earlier, but before we get into, so we're gonna spin from babies, mamas, and daddies a little bit into the infidelity thing. So before I do that, I'm Udoka, who was with the Celtics, got let go, blah 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 blah, because for cheating on Nia Long, which is bullshit. I mean, as much as I love her, that was still a bad reason to fire the guy. Is
Right.
now the head coach of the Houston Rockets.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm just curious. I'm not going to say shit else. So he got fired from the Celtics, and now he's the coach of Houston Rockets. What are you guys' thoughts? I just want to know. What are your thoughts first?
I really don't care.
I mean, the fact that he got let go from one team and he's on to another, is that where your question is coming in?
How do you feel about him? He got fired from the Celtics because of uh, his infidelity to Nia Long, and then now he's with the Houston Rockets as a head coach. Just what are your thoughts organically?
Nothing. I mean, he shouldn't have gotten fired in the first place. People do shit all the time to each other.
Yeah.
Like,
And that was
there is so much happening in the NFL with folks all the way from the top come down. Like, I don't understand why they even got rid of him. They shouldn't have.
yeah. Whether he has the ability to keep his stuff in his pants is, irrelevant to his performance.
Right, right.
As
Your
oh,
private life has nothing to do with.
You know what? I'm gonna give y'all a big ass hug for that, both of y'all. I'm gonna hug both of y'all and shake my titties on y'all titties. Good answer. Good answer. Because
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, you're right. Both of you are right. Should he
Like,
been
who
fired? No.
cares? Like, what?
But
So what?
It's
He
a double.
cheated.
It's a double standard. That's the problem. It's a double standard.
What man like? Let's be real.
I mean, exactly. And you know what? I think we're all kind of in agreement. I'm sorry, I did the same thing.
That's okay.
You know that.
Yeah.
Listen, it's called. You know what it's called? Men of power exercise it. Men of power exercise that power. Absolute power corrupts. I don't give a shit what he did with. Listen, Nia has made some confessions here lately too that's made me kind of look down upon her. Now I still wouldn't kick her out of bed, but it's made me go, huh? But because of that, it's one of those that's personal. He's a fantastic coach, from what I understand, and he was a good ball player. And here's the thing: he's from a country, Nigeria. He's from Africa, Nigeria, and they view things differently. That wouldn't be any different than a Mormon business owner going, "Yeah, buy 2 wives, blah blah blah." They don't adhere to what he. So I think it was they made a big to do about nothing because, like we all know, how many of these less well-tanned individuals have married their concubines or whores or PAs.
This is the thing. They've been together for a long time. Yeah. So really and truly what it is, I think it is more like she's embarrassed. Let's do something about it. Because she probably knew that man was stepping out.
She knew. She knew.
When you're with somebody and you're equally yoked in your relationship with that person, you can almost tell when he's sleeping out on somebody.
Well, here's the thing. She's a celebrity. He played professionally, and he's a coach. He's got power and influence. How is he not going to be? It's like, come on, man, cut that out. The thing is, it came to light. Had it not come to light, or had they not blown it up for whatever reason they were trying to go witch hunt him, we wouldn't have a problem. You know good and damn well she knew. Nia's been in the game a long time. Nia was groomed when she was younger. When I found that out, it blew my whole mind. Her mama wasn't shit. Her mama was a pimp. So that being said, yes, she knew, but she had to, do her thing. So her only response, which I'm kind of on the fence about, was she said the best revenge is no revenge. I feel like it's kind of a back end.
There's nothing to be revengeful about. Right. It's like, okay, he cheated, he got caught, it came out, whatever. He broke up.
I said you broke up, move on. She's moved on.
Right. But it's so public though. She is who she is. And so everybody's kind of like, right. So JJ said he had an affair with another employee. Yes. And you know what? It happens every single day. Go to Ford dealership. Go to Intermountain Healthcare. Go to the welfare office. Everywhere the boss has, it's good to be the king. They have their pick. That's why they made the rules. You got to have one wife or whatever. King gets to hit whoever he wants. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter that, it was within the organization. It's just that's just how it goes.
Oh, this is my acting husband. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, listen. Mimi, Mimi, that's what we know. That gets you in trouble, don't it?
I ain't getting in trouble.
That part. But yeah. I mean, it's just like, come on, give me a break. So anyway, he does have another job. I am happy about that. Let the man coach. I heard he's a good coach. I don't really give a shit who he ends up with now.
Yeah.
In Houston, so let him do his thing.
I like him. It's like, so what? You know what I'm saying? And the fact that he's African, it puts me in a different mindset because I think different about Africans. I know that they have 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 wives, all this good old stuff. So she knew what she was getting herself into.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. You would be my wife now. You come here, talk to me.
Yeah. I want you to meet Sharon.
Don't run from me.
Like, come on, don't be mad. Actually, she wasn't. It just blew up. That's all. It was just embarrassing. That's it. Like, damn, it didn't need to come out like this. But okay.
That's all. It blew up. She was cool. I think it was her son. Her son's feelings were hurt, and it was messed up. So they kind of had to go address and do damage control. Blah blah blah. So I think
he knows too. He's African. He's of the seed. So he already know what time it is. He's going to also have.
She's probably more well versed than the average individual. So I think like that. I think that's 100% true. Okay, so oh, you know what? I forgot. I had a question for you guys. kind of back to your subject, Mimi, we love doing that to each other. So
Mhm.
here, everybody's kind of talking about the whole Nelly and Ashanti maybe back together, blah blah
They are back
blah.
together, and I like them back
Okay,
together.
now, what are your thoughts on that in terms of okay, they were together like 10 years ago,
Hmm.
and now all of a sudden they're back together. What are you guys' thoughts on that? I'm about to piss people off, but go ahead. I want
Okay,
to know
so this is
yours.
the thing. This is the thing because I haven't done any research on why they broke up in the first place 10 years ago. What exactly
They're
happened that
famous.
they went?
He wasn't ready to settle down.
That's
They're
all it
both
was?
famous.
Oh, and
He
so
wasn't or
now,
she was.
He wasn't.
okay, so now they are, and they decided that they want to go for it, and they're going for it. They probably got a little taste of each other's, and was like, "Oh, I like this. I want to keep it going." You know, you know.
I, I think I think for the
I'm just
most
saying.
part, I think they make the cutest couple. I always like them together. And I think that, they've always had feelings for each other even after the breakup.
Yeah,
But they were young when they were together, and I think, sometimes you need to experience other things. I mean, they were of age. Don't give me that face, man. But
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, okay.
yeah, I mean, they weren't kids, but I mean, they were young. And,
and they
and
probably still wanted to play the field and not like
Right,
cheat on each other and destroy the bond that they
right.
had. So it's like, you know what? Let's just like keep it at bay,
they
do our
wanted two
thing.
different things. She was ready for the family to settle down to do that. And he wasn't, he was still at the height of his career, and he wanted to get out here, sow his royal oats and do his thing.
You
And
sold some
So,
out, all right.
so she let him.
so what about her? You don't think she wanted to do the same thing?
I'm sure she did, but though I heard, I saw her interview, after the breakup, and she was ready to settle down, and he wasn't.
Yeah,
And
for
that's what
sure.
it boiled down to. It's like if you love someone, set them free. If they come back to you, it's meant to be. She set him free.
Shit.
He
Anyway,
came back.
I would need that right there.
Okay. I mean, so here's what's weird. I'm such a hypocrite. I love, but I'm the only
Yep.
hypocrite in this relationship. God damn it! Long as y'all know that. Hey, that's one of my boys' phrase. I'm the only hypocrite in this relationship. Sit your ass. But I thought about that because yes, they're a celebrity,
Mhm.
so they kind of have different license, if you will. Um, I appreciate CB kind of going, all right, anyway, yeah, because she was fucking 32 and he was something a little bit older. Anyway, but yes, you're right. Being in that industry, it's coming at you fast and furious. You can't help
Mhm.
it. And so, yeah, think about that. She's 42 now. And so, even though she looks delicious still, and she works hard to keep it like that. But I just pay attention because I do follow her to see she's a brilliant young woman. I mean, she's
Mhm.
brilliant. She's very smart.
Mhm.
And again, Dirty does his thing too. So, but I know a lot of times these relationships are they're surrounded by business. It doesn't mean that they don't have feelings and all that. And yes, I think I agree that at that age they were like, look, we got to do us and go our way and whatnot. But I think they work well together.
Mhm.
I thought about that from just an average Joe standpoint. And even though everybody's like, oh man, we want to see them together. If that was me in an average like situation, I couldn't do it. I cannot go back like that. I can't. Because the way men think is more divide and conquer. And so I'm wondering, does he think like that? Because in 10 years, her body count has gone up. Yes, yours has too, but men and women is different. It is what it is. Point debate it. We're different. Our
Yes,
body
but the
count,
thing
your
about
body.
it, first of all, that's not going to be a discussion because at the end of the day, we
Exactly.
left we left each other then, and we are here together now, and
Mhm.
whatever happened in between shouldn't even matter.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say to that. I love the air you breathe. Fuck you and every woman that thinks that bullshit. Let me tell you why. I worship you guys, but here's why. We have to think differently. We have to. So, okay, let me put me as an average Joe in there, okay? Because
Okay.
these guys, they're here and we're not. if it's me and me and my girl break up, we break up. Now,
Mhm.
the only option you can have for me coming back to y'all, we break up. You guys either have to get married to one dude, and then if you go, we broke up, and then I can come back and be like, maybe. If we break up and then 10 years later you come back and you like, yeah, I had my 10 years of fun. Hell no. It's the hypocrisy of men and women. Hell no. They're celebrities. Maybe they feel like that, but me as a plain
But
dude,
you've been swinging dick too.
exactly. But
So
but it's a double standard.
there's
It's a
no
double,
difference.
100%. It's a double standard. 100%. It is. It's a double standard. Let me be honest with you. What's expected of ladies and what's expected of men is different. Protection and provision. We expect the loyalty, the low body count, the not. It's human nature. It ain't Roger's rule. It's the world's rule, and people don't get that. That's why these youngsters now. I'm just telling you. And here's the thing: if you don't want to be quote unquote married the way I was just talking about, it doesn't matter. You can't leave me. Go fuck 10, 20, 30 other dudes and come back and be like, I'm ready now. Oh, hell, I'm about to die. I'm about to dodge your ass like Barry Sanders. What you're not going to do is come back here with a 10-dick curve and think that I'm about to, it's not going to happen. If once you leave me, now if I meet you, whatever you got behind you is my choice.
Right.
But once you leave me and go somewhere else and then you come back, so now that's this many on top of mine. No, I'm good. I'm good on that. It's just the way, because remember, you expect me to make the ultimate sacrifice for you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is. I had next to the same thing. We broke up. Then she wanted to get me. Shh. Hey, Trey, listen. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. And I'm in my house, and I'm pretty loud, and everybody in my house can hear me. Listen to me. Leave me right now and come back 4, 5, 6 dicks to the better and see if I don't look at you and go, I'm sorry, what were you talking about? You got me fucked up. Here's why. Because we are expected, and the thing is, even if you might not even be doing me, you ain't even got to do me, and I'm fine with that. You can do nobody, but you can't leave and come back. This ain't a revolving door. That's how Roger operates. No revolving door. Now, if we ain't exclusive, do you? But if you're mine, and then you go, you're somebody else, and you come back, yo, we can have you. Listen, you'll never get to the penthouse with me again. I'll get you to the 5th floor, the 8th floor. You'll never get to the penthouse again because you let somebody else divide and conquer. That means he now has a percentage of responsibility for you. That means the protection and provision is on a fractional basis. That means I'm not laying my life down for you. Go tell the guy that you was fucking with Wednesday to do that. That's just how we think, because guess what? We're expected to do that for you, not vice versa. You give life by our children to us, but we're supposed to give our life for you. Shit. Trey says she's still trying to figure it out, Trey. Listen, I told you I'm the only hypocrite in a relationship. I just want y'all to know that, like I said. It's what it is. But that's the truth. And so in their case, I was like, I wonder if Nelly feels like that, because she's probably been she's admitted, Ashanti has admitted that, a lot of guys have tried to be her baby daddy. Meaning you didn't go through a lot of dudes, and you didn't go through a lot of dudes without strapping up. Right. Oh, who the fuck ain't following that is? No. Let the church say, pass the collection plate. Hell no.
One love, JJ. Thank you so much for tuning in, sweetheart.
Thanks, JJ.
Listen, I know you lost brain cells. Listen to me. You're welcome. I don't know, but I think about that too, because so when how do y'all feel if you break up with somebody who you cared about, loved, or whatever? He goes, gets with somebody, has children, and then decides to come back. Does that change how you feel?
I can't say that because that's not my situation, but I do have a 15-year gap in my relationship right now. But he didn't have any kids with anybody else.
God damn. Shit, 15 years. You can get done. You can almost pay your shit. Jesus.
It's brand new all over again, okay?
I mean, that's what's up,
Everything is new.
Yeah, the bad knees, the crook in the neck and shit, all that's new. Them gray hairs.
On both sides, okay?
Yeah. I'm just saying, like that's interesting because, like, how does that affect? So, because we were talking like the whole should you pay and all that,
Yeah.
and I know we've had this discussion before. Would you guys have you? I mean, we all have older kids, but did you expect that? Did you expect like if somebody started dating you, you're like, listen, I got 2 kids, I got a kid, I got 3 kids. Was that an expectation or was that bonus? Or was it depending on how serious it got?
I mean, if someone's dating me and then we break up, they end up having children, there's no coming back because there's a reason we broke up to begin with. So that's a no for me. No.
See, dudes, we guys, we're so shitty. I love being us sometimes. We're so shitty. So here's what here's why. Because if we feel like the same thing, we'll still entertain, but the seriousness can't be. Like the idea that we broke up, you went and got married or had a relationship, had a kid or 2, and now you're like, hey, what's going on? It's like, I'm going to entertain you because XY chromosome says entertain you, but
not with kids
yeah,
being
like,
involved. That would have never happened with kids being involved.
that's asking a lot for you to leave me, and we didn't have any. Go have some with him, and then come back and be like, "Hey, I'm back, and I've got baggage."
No.
What do you?
No, not
That's
ever.
a no for me. That's a no. That's a no-go.
Yeah.
So
That's a slap in the face.
In some ways, it is. I mean, even if it's mutual or amicable, it's still kind of like
there is no. I mean, if they mutually break up and you know that they're going off to procreate with somebody else,
Then leave
then
them right where they at, procreating.
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
That's my take
Because
on
I
it.
ain't raising nobody.
No.
I don't even want to do babies in my mind right now, Father God.
Somebody would
Hey,
be
listen.
you'd be boo-boo the fool to even go along.
But listen. Think
Then I gotta
about how
think
many
about a
people.
timeout chair. No.
See,
Now,
that's my
but
first of all, that's mighty well of you. I don't do time out here. I do not come out here.
but in the same instance, if it's a situation where the woman is infertile and she cannot bear children, and she releases him to go off and have a kid with someone else,
No,
and
we gonna fucking adopt, okay?
if he comes back with the kid,
No.
then I think in that scenario, if it's a mutual thing and you know what's up and what's going on and you know what to expect and you know they're coming back and they'll more than likely have a kid with them, then
Sis, that's a lot. The sentence is really long.
That is a lot. Okay,
That's a
so
lot, Mama.
here's a good one. We got 7 minutes left.
We're gonna adopt. Or
Here's a
we
good
gonna figure
one.
something out.
So I've seen, podcasts and interviews and all that. There are women out there that think if a man in particular takes on another person's responsibility or adopts or whatever, he's a simp, a pushover, a pussy. Like, how do y'all feel about that? There are women that talk bad about men that do that. Women, not even men. I understand it. Yeah, they talk badly. They go, he's soft, he's weak, he doesn't deserve to be respected because how or why could you do that? What are your thoughts on that? And again, I know this is kind of a loaded deck here.
What do you mean?
They mean if you've got children from a previous relationship and a man comes in and goes, I love you enough to take care of you and your children. There are women out there that goes, the man that does that is a simp, is a pussy. He shouldn't be respected. He's weak.
Oh no.
And they're stupid. No. I think that takes a real man to do that. For example, Blake Shelton, when he married Gwen Stefani, he knew that she had children with Gavin Rossdale, when she was married to him. So, and he took on the role as being the stepfather, and he takes it seriously. He treats her children as if they were his own because he doesn't have any children.
Yeah, that is a beautiful thing. But we're not going to break up and you're going to go have kids and bring him back talking about, look, baby, I'm back with the Brady Bunch. Fuck that. Bye.
But You know
But,
what? Here's what I think. I mean,
but I don't
I
think that makes him a weak man. I think that makes him a man. It takes a strong man to be able to shoulder that burden.
listen.
That is a beautiful thing.
Mhm.
To love somebody else's kid, even if it's from afar or casually. Sometimes people have children that are closer, and I mean, like, there's not that big of a gap. So you like, if you date someone who has older kids, they may only be young enough to be your younger siblings, niece or nephew, maybe not children, but it's
Mhm.
respect factor. But to love them, or to at least give them enough advice and things like that, yeah, it does. Because, and I'm just going to speak as a man, here's what y'all got to understand: as a man, it is difficult, very difficult, to
Trey,
accept
I'm
a
sorry,
man.
I didn't get it. Trey said, "Why
What?
throw him under the bus?" What did I say?
Trey stupid.
Trey said,
Hey,
"I have a kid from a
shit.
previous relationship. My son calls my wife mom." Oh, see, that's
That,
sweet.
but you know what? That's a respect thing. Now, we talked about this
Yes,
before: love versus
yes.
respect. And so I was saying, as a man, it's much harder to love another man's son. It's very hard, because in the animal kingdom, the alpha male usually kills the child of another male,
Okay,
especially if
so
it's a
guys,
male.
this looks like it's going to be a topic for another week because we have like 3 minutes left to the
That's
hour.
180 seconds. Some of y'all can't count.
But I'm just saying that we're gonna go off into it, and I don't see we got a whole lot to say.
Nope, 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 nope.
Not
No bullshit. We're good.
really.
But we're definitely gonna talk. We got to continue that topic right there.
Hey, Hardhead George, we miss you. We out of here. Hey, keep kicking it. Keep your shit together. Listen, I'm on vacation. I'll holler at y'all next week. Love you. Peace. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, don't go that fast. Okay, so one love, God bless, and we'll see y'all next weekend. George, we miss you.
Thank everyone for tuning in tonight, and we will see you next week, same time, same station. We come to you every Wednesday as your midweek motivator, offering music, motivation, conversation, laughter, and a whole lot of fun. Hopefully, you received a partial part of that tonight. And we will see you guys next week. Don't forget to like us and subscribe. Share this live, like us and subscribe. And we'll see you. And then, also by liking this and subscribing, you could win some pretty cool prizes. So stay tuned, and we'll see you next week.
Trey, Gabe, hey, I said it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and
Love
everybody have a
y'all.
good weekend. One love.
Bye. That part.
Oh shit. That's hilarious. We out of here. I'll catch
We
y'all
out.
later. Dun, 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 dun.